All right, welcome on in everyone to First CSP for another episode of Sunday Special, where we're generally sharing things that are not First CSPs from our collection. They're generally well known or kind of adjacent to First CSPs. In the first three episodes of Sunday Special, we've highlighted some historic sets that were produced by current councils honoring councils that existed before CSPs by producing CSPs for them. If you haven't seen those episodes, by all means, feel free to go check those out. We became aware of those patches because as we were going through the collecting guide, when you see each council, it has its own heading. And we would see, for example, Bellingham, and the heading would be there, and then it would have information underneath it saying that Mount Baker produced a patch in honor of that council that existed before CSPs were a thing. Same thing with Topaz or Timpanogos. You go to those listings in the CSP collecting guide, and then it'll say these patches were produced by Utah National Parks, etc. Well, today's patches highlighted on Sunday Special, we found out in a similar fashion, but unlike the previous episodes where they were councils that existed and then a newer council produced a patch for them to recognize those previous councils, these councils do not exist. So let's take a look on the patch table at the first one we're going to take a look at today. That is Mayfield Council. As you can see here, this was produced in 1988 for a movie called The Wrong Guys. It does appear that the entire movie is available on YouTube, and it seems that this patch was only used at the very end climax of the film, kind of the after the climax really, and for the resolution part right at the end of the film. I do have a link that I'll provide in the description below if you want to go see these used on screen. I tried to find the place where it actually showed up. Now, it does appear that there was a Mayfield Council that existed in Kentucky from 1918 to 1919, but that was it. And this patch actually has no relation to that council at all. It was only made for Hollywood. There are actually two versions of this patch depending on the number of sun rays. The screen worn ones, I'm told, have 15 rays or 16 rays. There are very few of those. What most of us have been able to collect is an additional reproduction produced at the same time with the film, but these have 15 rays, and you can denote the difference there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They list somewhere under 200 of these were made. And then the screen worn ones with the 16 rays, they believe, are maybe less than 10. I would assume that they're on those uniforms that you see in the film, so it would be on a blue Cub Scout shirt. I've never seen one of those up, but those do exist. We'll show you the back of these. They are plastic backed and listed as a TA1. Again, this is a council that has never existed and was produced for the Hollywood film in 1988. So that's kind of a fun one. And then the next one is more recent, and it is the Glenhaven Council. There has never been a Glenhaven Council in Boy Scouts of America, and this is a 2003 error, essentially, from Mount Baker. So Mount Baker was intending to produce this and have it say Mount Baker at the top, and those corrected patches do exist. You can find the same image on Mount Baker's 2003 Friends of Scouting Loyal patch. I have no idea how this Glenhaven Council patch came to be, what the mistake was when the patch was ordered so that it didn't say Mount Baker. Instead, it said Glenhaven. This is listed as a Mount Baker SA18, and I believe the corrected one is the SA19. But another council that does not exist. So you can look this up in the collecting guide. It's going to say Glenhaven, and then for the 3-digit numeric council number, it will just say 000. That has how it lists all of the councils that have never actually produced a patch. So the Mayfield would be in there in the collecting guide, and it would say 000, etc. So that's how we became aware of these. We think they're kind of just fun additions to our collection, and we wanted to bring them to you here on today's Sunday special. So I hope you have enjoyed that. Remember, in the description below, I'll have a link that is a time direct link to the YouTube video where you'll see the Mayfield Council patches in the movie, but I believe the entire film is there if you wanted to watch it. I have not watched the whole thing in its entirety, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this issue of Sunday Special, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new first CSP. We look forward to seeing you then. Till then, everybody have a great rest of your day.